Hola Culers, y bienvenidos al canal. It's your host, your channel name, and if you're like me, you live and breathe Blaugrana. Every pass, every goal, every rumor, it's all part of our FC Barcelona journey, right? Today, we've got a jam-packed episode straight from the heart of Catalonia. We're talking about our unstoppable winning streak, the nail-biting Copa del Rey draw, some frustrating Camp Nou delays, and a worrying exodus from our beloved La Masia that's got us all a bit on edge. But don't worry, we'll also dive into potential new talents and a massive match preview that could see us breaking records. So grab your favorite Barça shirt, get comfortable, and let's dive deep into the latest FC Barcelona news. This is going to be a rollercoaster, so stick with me, because there's never a dull moment when you're a cooler. Alright, let's kick things off with some absolutely brilliant news, because when Barça is winning, the world just feels a little bit brighter, doesn't it? We've done it again, Culers. 11 consecutive wins in all competitions. 11. That's not just a run, that's a statement. Our boys, under Hansi Flick, are absolutely flying, and the latest scalp. Racing Santander in the Copa del Rey, securing our spot in the quarterfinals. It wasn't the flashiest win, but it was clinical, it was professional, and it kept that incredible momentum going. You just love to see it. Now, the draw for the quarterfinals is set for Monday, and let me tell you, there's a buzz in the air. The biggest news? Real Madrid. Gone. Out. Eliminated in a shocker. And while, of course, as a football fan, you appreciate any team's journey, as a cooler, a little bit of relief, a little cheer, maybe even a vamos, slips out, because let's be honest, avoiding our eternal rivals in a cup competition is never a bad thing, especially when we're chasing silverware. But don't let that fool you into thinking it'll be easy. This isn't the protected Super Cup draw anymore, this is a pure, unadulterated quarterfinal challenge. We could face some absolute beasts. Imagine, Atletico Madrid, who always give us a tough game. Athletic Club, who are never easy to beat, especially in the Copa. Then there's the Basque contingent, Real Sociedad and Alaves, both incredibly tough, resilient sides. Don't forget Real Betis and Valencia, who can surprise anyone on their day. And then there's the Cinderella story of the tournament, Albacete. The Segunda Division side, who knocked out Real Madrid, and get this, they're guaranteed a home game if we draw them. Talk about a potential banana skin. Hansi Flick's side has been dominant, absolutely brilliant, but these next rounds are where legends are made. Can we sustain this incredible run? Can we navigate through these tough opponents and lift the Copa del Rey? I have faith, Culers. This team has a different fire, a different intensity. Bring on the draw. No matter who we face, we'll be ready. Forza Barça. Alright Culers, let's talk about something that's hitting us right in the heart of our home, the Spotify Camp Nou. The construction has been moving along, and we're all dreaming of the day our majestic stadium is back to full capacity, but it looks like we're hitting some snags. And honestly, it's a bit frustrating, isn't it? Reports from Diario Sport are telling us that 2 key permissions needed to expand capacity are being delayed. The first one is for the Gol Nord, specifically, the first and second tiers. The club was hoping to have these open for the Real Oviedo match on January 25th. That's now a no-go. The Barcelona City Council has demands regarding access routes, and now we're looking at mid to late February for that license. I mean, every cooler wants to be back in that stadium, feeling that atmosphere, and these delays just push back that incredible moment. It's a bummer, at safety first, always. We need it to be perfect when it's done. But the second delay? This one is really interesting, and also a bit concerning from a fan perspective. It's for the new Espai d'Animation, which is going to be in the first tier of the Gol Sud, with a capacity of 1,200. This section, to be renamed Gol 1957, is for our younger, most passionate fans aged 18 to 30, chosen from the season ticket waiting list. Sounds amazing, right? A dedicated space for pure, unadulterated passion. But the Mossos d'Esquadra, our police force, are being super strict with security demands. We're talking lists of members to ensure no criminal records, fingerprint controls for entry, fingerprint controls, and an exclusive, independent entrance. Phew. That's a lot. While I completely understand the need for stringent security measures, especially for a vibrant, animated section, it just sounds like a bureaucratic nightmare that's going to push this back even further. The club hopes to inaugurate it this season, but with all these demands, it feels like it's going to be a tough ask. We just want to fill our stadium, make it a fortress, and get all our amazing fans in there. These delays, though understandable in parts, are a tough pill to swallow. Patience is a virtue, they say, but for us Culers, waiting for our Camp Nou to be complete feels like an eternity. What do you guys think about these security demands? Let me know in the comments. Okay, Culers, let's shift gears to something that truly hits close to home, something that gives me a knot in my stomach, the situation at La Masia. Our academy, our pride, the heart and soul of FC Barcelona. We've been rocked recently, and frankly, it's a worrying trend. First, the news of Pedro Fernandez Dro, a brilliant talent, deciding to leave, potentially for PSG. Then, Mamadou Mbacke also looking to exit. And now we're bracing ourselves for another potential raid, this time from Como, eyeing one of our brightest defensive prospects, Andres Cuenca. Mundo Deportivo reports that Como are actively monitoring Cuenca, and the big factor here? Cesc Fabregas. Yes, our very own La Masia product, now head coach at Como, is reportedly playing a key role. Fabregas, who knows the Barcelona system inside out, has been doing a fantastic job nurturing young talents in Italy, and he's apparently leveraging his excellent relationship with our club to get ahead in the race for Cuenca. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? On one hand, you admire Cesc's work, but on the other, you're thinking, Cesc, come on, don't take our talents. Cuenca is a defensive prodigy, and while he's made a Champions League debut, he hasn't yet broken into the first team consistently. A change of scenery might appeal to him, but for us, as fans, losing these jewels from our academy is a bitter pill to swallow. With Mbacke also set to leave, our defensive prospects from La Masia seem to be dwindling. We've seen this before, haven't we? Players leaving for perceived better opportunities, or just more game time, only for it to sometimes not work out as planned. It raises questions. Are we doing enough to retain these talents? Are we showing them a clear pathway to the first team? La Masia is what makes us unique, what defines our philosophy. To see it being raided, or players choosing to leave, is genuinely disheartening. We need to fight to keep our future stars. What do you guys think? Is it time for the club to re-evaluate its strategy regarding La Masia talents and their progression to the senior squad? Alright, Culers, let's talk about a transfer saga that had our hopes soaring, only to come crashing down a bit. Remember the buzz around Hamza Abdelkarim, the Egyptian wizard from Al Ahly? We were also excited about him potentially joining Barça Athletic, a phenomenal talent who could fill the void left by injuries and other departures. News in Egypt even had it as a done deal, with the young man sorting out his travel arrangements. But alas, it seems this particular magic trick has failed to materialize. According to Diario Sport, the deal, which was structured as a loan with a potential €10 million fee if performance variables were met, has completely broken down. And guess what caused the collapse? A contract dispute. Al Ahly, being smart operators, refused to sanction the loan unless Abdelkarim signed a 3-year contract extension. His current deal expires in 2027, and they didn't want him returning from a loan with just a year left, significantly dropping his market value. Makes sense from their perspective, right? But here's the kicker: Hamza's father, acting on his son's behalf, reportedly rejected this condition. He feared it would strip them of any leverage over the youngster's future career path. And I can't blame them. You want your son to have control over his destiny, especially when he's this talented. The clearest sign that the move is off is that Abdelkarim, who was kept on ice during negotiations, has now reintegrated into the Al Ahly squad, even playing a full 90 minutes in a League Cup match. So, it seems the Egyptian wizard won't be gracing our reserve team with his skills, at least not this winter. It's a shame, honestly. We were really hoping to see what this kid could do in our system. But, credit to the club, they're not sitting around feeling sorry for themselves. They've already pivoted, and reports suggest they're finalizing a move for Joaquin Delgado to fill that offensive void in Barça Athletic. It's a reminder of how complex these transfers can be, especially with young, highly rated talents. We win some, we lose some, but the search for the next generation of Barça stars never stops. What do you think? Was the club right not to force the issue, or should they have pushed harder for Hamza? Culers, we've been talking about the worrying trend of La Masia talents leaving, and unfortunately, we have another confirmation that stings. Mamadou Mbacke, a young defender we had high hopes for, is officially on his way out. This comes right after the shock of Pedro Fernandez Dro's departure, and it truly underlines a difficult period for our academy. It's a tough pill to swallow when you see these promising youngsters choose to leave our club. Mbacke joined us permanently for €2 million in 2024, after initially coming from LA Galaxy, so he's no stranger to the MLS scene. And it seems that's where he's headed back. Diario Sport has confirmed that Mbacke is all set to join MLS club St. Louis City in a permanent deal. He's even passed his medical checkup in Barcelona, and an official announcement is expected very, very soon. It's always sad to see a player leave, especially one with potential, but sometimes a change of scenery is what a player needs for consistent game time and development. We certainly wish him the best. From a financial perspective, the club is reportedly set to recoup part of the €2 million investment they made in him, though the exact figure hasn't been disclosed. It's not a huge transfer fee, but every little bit helps in our current economic climate. St. Louis City is one of the smaller teams in MLS, but they do have former Borussia Dortmund goalkeeper Roman Mbacke as their captain, which is a solid presence. It'll be interesting to see how Mbacke fits in there, perhaps even partnering with his namesake, Falou Fall, in defense. He certainly has a good reputation in MLS from his previous stint, so maybe this is the perfect move for him to really kickstart his senior career. While it's a loss for La Masia, it's crucial that these young players find a pathway to regular football. If that's not guaranteed here right now, then perhaps this move to MLS is a practical solution for all parties. But still, the question lingers, are we doing enough to convince these talents to stay and fight for their spot at the greatest club in the world? Let's hope his career thrives and that one day, he looks back fondly at his time with our beloved Blaugrana. Alright, Culers, let's talk about potential new blood, because while we're sad to see some talents go, we're always on the hunt for the next star to don the Blaugrana. And guess what? It seems we're looking at our neighbors, Espanyol, again. Remember the stir we caused by bringing in Joan Garcia last summer? That move caused quite the tension, with Garcia facing intense boos and jeers during the Catalan derby. But that hasn't deterred us, oh no. Now Barcelona is reportedly eyeing another Espanyol player, Carlos Romero. According to Diario AS, we're interested in the services of this Villarreal fullback, who's currently on loan at Espanyol. And let me tell you, this kid has been turning heads. He's a left-back by trade, and he's been absolutely impressive this season, racking up 4 goals and 2 assists in La Liga already. 4 goals from a left-back. That's serious attacking output, something we absolutely love at Barcelona. Now, why Romero? Well, with Gerard Martin converting to a centre-back, Hansi Flick currently doesn't have a direct, viable alternative for Alejandro Balde at left-back. And while our new signing, the brilliant João Cancelo, can operate on the left, we're always looking for long-term solutions, and Romero fits the bill perfectly. He's young, talented, and already performing in La Liga. Imagine him bombing down the left flank, linking up with our attackers, a mouth-watering prospect. However, it's not going to be a walk in the park. We're facing stiff competition from none other than Atletico Madrid. Matu Alemany, their newly appointed sporting director, is reportedly keen on bolstering their defense, and Romero is on their radar. While Atleti would have liked to sign him this January, his loan contract at Espanyol means a move is postponed until the summer. So, it looks like we could have a proper El Clasico-esque battle in the transfer market for his signature when he returns to Villarreal. This is an exciting prospect, Culers. A talented Spanish left-back, performing well, and potentially joining our ranks. Let's hope we can secure him and bring that talent to the Camp Nou. What are your thoughts on Carlos Romero? Could he be the future left-back for Barcelona? Culers, buckle up, because tonight is huge. After a long journey back from Saudi Arabia and that crucial Copa del Rey win against Racing Santander, our boys are heading to the Basque Country to face Real Sociedad at Anita, or the Reale Arena, as it's now called. And this isn't just any game, this is a chance to make history, to solidify our incredible run, and to lay down a marker for the rest of the season. Let's talk about this winning streak, shall we? 11 straight wins in all competitions. That's absolutely phenomenal. Hansi Flick is doing something special here. This isn't just a good run of form, this puts him in the same breath as legends like Pep Guardiola in 2009 and Luis Enrique in 2015, both seasons where we went on to win the treble and the Champions League, respectively. Coincidence? I think not. Flick is reaching new heights, and with every win, we're moving closer to Frank Rijkaard's club record of 18 straight wins. That's still a ways off, but with this momentum, who's to say we can't get there? The team is playing with confidence, intensity, and a hunger we haven't seen in a while. Tonight, we push towards the impossible. And guess what else we're all eagerly anticipating? João Cancelo's debut. Our new Portuguese international arrived earlier this month, and while Flick opted to rest some big names against Racing, he couldn't give Cancelo his first minutes. Tonight, all eyes will be on him. Where will Flick play him? Right back? Left back? His attacking potential is immense, and his integration will also free up some of our centre-backs like Gerard Martin and Eric Garcia from makeshift full-back roles. Imagine the dynamic he'll bring to our attack and defence. I can't wait to see him in action, lighting up the wing for us. Finally, Anita. It's a ground that holds a bitter memory from last season. It was one of the few places where Flick's side lost in La Liga, a game where we were simply outplayed, starting a year-end slump. Tonight, we have a chance to turn that memory around, to avenge that defeat, and to show Real Sociedad that this is a different Barcelona, a Barcelona high on confidence, on a mission. This isn't just about 3 points, it's about making a statement, continuing our historic run, and proving that we are serious contenders on all fronts. Vamos, Barça. Let's get that 12th win. Culers. Let's circle back to the topic that's been heavy on our minds, the outflow of talent from La Masia. This week has been particularly tough, with the shockwaves of Pedro Fernandez Dro's imminent departure. As one of our most highly rated academy players, his decision to leave has understandably not sat well with anyone at the club, including Hansi Flick himself. The reports linking him to PSG have been swirling, and it feels like a really significant loss for our future. But Dro isn't the only La Masia star making headlines for a potential exit this month. Mamadou Mbacke, another promising young defender, has also emerged as a surprising candidate for a departure. Diario Sport confirmed that Mbacke's move away from Barcelona is indeed imminent. The clearest sign? He was notably absent from Giuliano Belletti's squad for Barça Athletic's most recent game against CE Androch. When a player is suddenly not included, especially one who's been getting regular action, it usually means one thing: a transfer is on the horizon. It's only a matter of time now before he officially leaves the club. Recent reports have been linking Mbacke with a move to the MLS, which, honestly, doesn't come as a huge shock. After all, Barça initially signed him from LA Galaxy for around €2 million. It seems he enjoys a good reputation in the MLS circle, and for him, it's apparently emerged as the most viable option, despite receiving offers from second-division Spanish and Italian clubs. This is particularly poignant because Mbacke was just starting to get some regular action after struggling with injuries in recent seasons. Just when he was finding his rhythm, this opportunity arose, and it seems he's decided to take it. It's a tough situation for both the player and the club. We want to see our young talents succeed, and if that means finding a new home where they can play consistently, then sometimes it's the right choice. But the sheer volume of these departures, Dro, Mbacke, and the interest in Cuenca, is raising serious questions about our youth development strategy and how we manage the transition of these prodigious talents into senior football. We need to do more to keep these stars in Catalonia, because La Masia is non-negotiable for our identity. Let's pivot slightly from the confirmed departures and talk about another young talent whose future is up in the air, Xavi Espai. While we celebrate our 2-0 Copa del Rey win over Racing Santander, it seems Racing is now looking to raid us in return, eyeing one of our promising La Masia talents, Xavi Espai. And this, Culers, is where the implications of our senior team transfers really start to trickle down to our youth. According to Diario AS, Racing Santander is interested in bringing in Xavi Espai, a young right-back with a lot of promise. Espai was expected to potentially make his debut for Barcelona during the first half of the season. He's a talent, no doubt. However, coach Hansi Flick has continued to prefer more established players like Jules Koundé or Eric Garcia in that position. It's a tough environment for youngsters trying to break through when you have world-class talent ahead of them. And now, with the arrival of the brilliant João Cancelo, it's become even more unlikely that Espai will get significant opportunities anytime soon. You can see how that might pave the way for a potential move away, can't you? This situation, unfortunately, mirrors what we're seeing with Pedro Fernandez Dro, a lack of immediate game time leading to a player considering his options elsewhere. It's a recurring theme that we, as fans, find deeply concerning. We want to nurture these talents, keep them close, and see them thrive in the Blaugrana shirt. However, the good news here is that Racing Santander is reportedly only interested in a loan deal for Espai. This could actually be a smart move for Barcelona. A loan spell would allow Xavi to get crucial game time, develop his skills in a competitive environment, and hopefully return to Barcelona a more mature and ready player for first-team action. Racing is apparently expecting Clement Michelin to leave, which would open up a spot at right-back, making Espai an excellent short-term solution for them. It's a win-win if it's a loan. He gets experience, and we don't lose him permanently. We've seen many players benefit from successful loan spells before coming back stronger. Let's hope this is the case for Xavi Espai, and that he gets the minutes he deserves to grow and eventually fight for a place at our club. What do you think about loaning out young talents like Espai? Culers, I saved this one for last because, frankly, it's one of the hardest pieces of news to stomach as a die-hard Barcelona fan. The future of Pedro Fernandez Dro, a name whispered with so much hope and excitement within La Masia, is no longer up in the air. It's done. Finished. Our midfield prodigy, one of the most gifted talents to emerge from our academy in recent memory, is leaving Barcelona to join Paris Saint-Germain. This isn't just a rumor anymore. It was extensively reported by French media, and now, renowned Sky Sports journalist Florian Plettenberg has confirmed it. Dro's move to PSG is a done deal. Total agreement has been reached between PSG and the player. They've activated his €6 million release clause, 6 million, Culers. For a talent of his caliber, that feels like pocket change in today's market. He's set to pen a long-term contract at Parc des Princes, with a medical likely slated very soon. This is a devastating blow, truly devastating. Plettenberg further adds that Luis Enrique, our former coach, and PSG president Nasser Al-Khelaifi, personally played key roles in convincing Dro to make this move to the French capital. That's a direct assault on our academy, a deliberate poaching of our future. Barcelona had reportedly identified Dro as a long-term midfield partner for someone like Pedri, a cornerstone of our future midfield. But following his shock announcement, the club virtually had their hands tied. There was no real scope for renegotiation once that release clause was activated and the player had made up his mind. This is a huge gamble for Dro. And it's a gamble that, historically, hasn't paid off for many La Masia players who've left for greener pastures. Think Xavi Simons, who also deflected to PSG, only to find himself playing elsewhere a few years later. Or Ilix Moriba, who left under similar circumstances and has struggled to make a real impact at the highest level. The pain of losing these talents, groomed in our philosophy, instilled with the Barça DNA, is immense. It questions our ability to retain our best and brightest, and it makes you wonder what more we could have done. We can only wish Dro well, but a part of me aches knowing what could have been. What a bitter pill to swallow. What are your feelings on this, Culers? Let me know in the comments below. And that, Culers, brings us to the end of another rollercoaster ride through the world of FC Barcelona. From the highs of our incredible winning streak and the Copa del Rey excitement, to the frustrating delays at our beloved Camp Nou, and the frankly heartbreaking news coming out of La Masia with talents like Dro and Mbacke departing, it's never a dull moment. We've talked about potential new signings like Carlos Romero, and the anticipation for João Cancelo's debut against Real Sociedad, where Hansi Flick's boys will be looking to continue making history. It's a mix of emotions, as always, but one thing remains constant: our unwavering support for FC Barcelona. No matter the challenges, no matter the transfers, our passion for the Blaugrana burns brighter than ever. What were your biggest takeaways from today's news? Are you excited for the Copa del Rey draw? Worried about La Masia? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our passionate Barca content. Share it with your fellow Culers too. Thank you for joining me today, and as always, Visca el Barça y Visca Catalunya.